Listen closely because what I'm about to share might sound too simple to be true, but the scientific evidence is truly astonishing. There's a natural compound that costs less than your daily coffee, takes just 5 seconds to consume, and, according to hundreds of studies, has the power to dramatically improve your brain, muscles, and overall health in ways that even seasoned researchers find surprising. This compound is creatine monohydrate, and just a daily dose of 5 grams has been clinically proven to reduce inflammation markers by as much as 40%, enhance memory test performance by 20% in older adults, and boost muscle strength by 15% without any changes to your workout routine. Many people mistakenly believe creatine is only for bodybuilders or gym enthusiasts, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Recent research reveals that creatine impacts nearly every system in your body, and its effects on one particular organ are so profound that neurologists are calling it a potential game changer for aging populations. I'll explain which organ benefits the most and why these findings have left scientists stunned. But first, let me walk you through exactly what happens once you start taking this 5-gram daily dose. Before we dive in, please share your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. We read every single one. Now, let's begin with the 5th benefit and work our way up to the most important one. Number 5. Your muscles become stronger without any extra effort. Even when you're sitting still, your muscles are constantly active. They need energy to contract, relax, and maintain their structure. This energy comes from a molecule called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, which acts like the battery powering every muscle contraction in your body. The problem is, your body only stores enough ATP to fuel about 10 seconds of activity. After that, you have to quickly recharge those energy reserves, and this is where creatine plays a vital role. Creatine works by creating a backup energy system within your muscles. When you take creatine monohydrate, your body converts it into phosphocreatine and stores it directly inside your muscle cells. When ATP levels drop during physical activity, phosphocreatine donates a phosphate group to rapidly recharge the depleted ATP molecules, ensuring your muscles have a continuous supply of energy. A landmark study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology followed 120 adults over 12 weeks, finding that those who took 5 grams of creatine daily increased their light press strength by 24%, compared to just 12% in the placebo group. Even more impressive, participants who didn't engage in additional exercise still showed an 8% increase in grip strength. The anti-inflammatory effects on muscle tissue are equally remarkable. Muscles sustain microscopic damage during use, which triggers inflammation. Research from McMaster University measured inflammation markers in 60 adults taking creatine compared to a control group. After 8 weeks of 5 grams daily, the creatine group showed a 33% reduction in inflammatory cytokines L6 and TNF-alpha, leading participants to report less muscle soreness, faster recovery, and improved ability to perform daily tasks like climbing stairs and carrying groceries. To maximize these muscle benefits, timing and consistency are more important than you might think. The most effective approach is to take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate mixed into water or juice once a day. Studies show that consistency outweighs timing. Research from Nova Southeastern University compared taking creatine before exercise, after exercise, or at random times each day, and found similar improvements across all groups, as long as it was taken every day. The key is making creatine a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Mix 5 grams of creatine into 8 ounces of liquid, stir until it dissolves, and drink it. The key to experiencing the benefits is to take it daily without missing any doses. Now, let's explore how creatine supports another essential system in your body, your heart. Your heart is the hardest working muscle, beating about 100,000 times every day and demanding a tremendous amount of energy for each contraction. Like your skeletal muscles, the heart depends on ATP to fuel every beat. Creatine helps by increasing phosphocreatine stores in heart muscle tissue, providing the energy reserves needed for efficient blood pumping. Studies show compelling evidence for creatine's positive effects on heart health, especially for people with cardiovascular concerns. In one study, half the participants took 5 grams of creatine daily, while the other half received a placebo. After 3 months, those taking creatine showed a 12% improvement in ejection fraction, an important measure of how effectively the heart pumps blood. They also improved their exercise capacity by 18% during treadmill tests and reported experiencing significantly less fatigue during daily activities. Additionally, researchers observed a 28% reduction in C-reactive protein, a key marker of systemic inflammation. This is crucial because chronic inflammation damages the lining of blood vessels, encourages plaque buildup, and raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Creatine helps reduce inflammation through various mechanisms. For example, a study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology measured oxidative stress in 38 healthy adults who took 5 grams of creatine daily for 8 weeks. Results showed a 22% decrease in oxidative damage to lipids and a 17% increase in antioxidant enzyme activity, producing a strong anti-inflammatory effect throughout the cardiovascular system. Beyond the heart muscle, creatine also enhances blood vessel function. The endothelium, a thin layer of cells lining all blood vessels, regulates blood pressure and inflammation. A fascinating study from the University of Saskatchewan involved 60 healthy older adults who took either 5 grams of creatine or a placebo daily for 12 weeks. Using specialized ultrasound, researchers measured flow-mediated dilation, a marker of blood vessel health and flexibility. Participants taking creatine improved their flow-mediated dilation by 14%, indicating better endothelial function and overall healthier blood vessels. To fully benefit from creatine's cardiovascular effects, a daily dose of 5 grams is sufficient. Starting at this dose from day 1 and maintaining it consistently can yield noticeable improvements within 3 to 4 weeks. If you are on medications for heart conditions or blood pressure, consult your doctor before starting creatine. Not because it's unsafe, but because your improved heart function may necessitate adjustments in your medication. Now, moving on to another vital system where creatine has a positive impact: your bones. Most people don't associate creatine with bone health, but bones are living tissues that continuously break down and rebuild. This remodeling process demands a huge amount of energy, and bone cells called osteoblasts require sufficient ATP to effectively form new bone tissue. As people age, bone formation slows down, while bone breakdown continues, leading to decreased bone density and a higher risk of fractures. Creatine supplementation promotes bone formation by shifting the balance toward building rather than breakdown, enhancing skeletal strength and resilience through multiple biochemical and physiological pathways. This effect is particularly significant in populations vulnerable to bone density loss, such as postmenopausal women who face accelerated bone loss due to lower estrogen levels, a hormone critical for maintaining bone remodeling equilibrium. A notable study conducted by researchers at the University of Regina involving 54 postmenopausal women over a 12-month period demonstrated that those who took 5 grams of creatine daily combined with resistance training experienced a remarkable 3.2% increase in femoral neck bone density compared to just 1.1% in the placebo group. Similarly, lumbar spine bone density improved by 4.7% in the creatine group versus 2.1% in controls, highlighting creatine's role in supporting skeletal health in regions prone to osteoporotic fractures. Beyond bone density, creatine exerts anti-inflammatory effects by reducing systemic inflammation levels by 41% in older adults after 12 weeks of supplementation. This reduction in inflammation is crucial, as inflammatory processes activate bone-degrading osteoclasts and simultaneously suppress bone-forming osteoblasts, tipping the remodeling balance toward net bone loss. By dampening inflammation, Creatine promotes increased production of bone-building proteins such as osteocalcin, which are essential for mineralization and bone matrix formation. Another indirect but vital benefit of creatine is its impact on muscle function, as stronger muscle contractions create mechanical stress on bones, stimulating osteogenesis and enhancing bone strength. A study employing advanced imaging techniques like MRI and DXA scans found that participants engaging in resistance training alongside creatine supplementation exhibited a 19% greater increase in muscle cross-sectional area and a 12% higher increase in bone density at muscle attachment sites compared to those performing resistance training alone. For optimal outcomes, it is recommended to take 5 grams of creatine daily in conjunction with resistance exercises performed at least twice weekly, including accessible body weight movements such as squats, push-ups, and lunges, which contribute to both muscle and bone health. On a cellular level, creatine functions by replenishing adenosine triphosphate, ATP, the primary energy currency of cells, thereby supporting the energy demands of both muscle and bone cells during activity and repair. Exercise synergizes with creatine supplementation by further stimulating bone formation through mechanical loading while simultaneously inhibiting bone resorption processes. Furthermore, creatine supplementation enhances lean body mass, which in turn elevates basal metabolic rate since lean tissue consumes more calories at rest than fat tissue. This metabolic effect translates to improved body composition and energy expenditure. A comprehensive meta-analysis encompassing 22 clinical trials revealed that creatine users gained an average of 2.2 pounds of lean mass over 8 weeks, underscoring its potential benefits not only for muscle hypertrophy, but also for systemic metabolic health. These benefits extend beyond musculoskeletal improvements to include reductions in chronic inflammation, enhancements in insulin sensitivity, which may help mitigate type 2 diabetes risk, and positive effects on cardiovascular health markers such as blood pressure and endothelial function. Taken together, these multifaceted benefits position creatine supplementation as a promising adjunct therapy for improving bone strength, muscle function, and overall metabolic health, particularly in aging populations susceptible to musculoskeletal decline and metabolic disorders. Creatine supplementation increases resting metabolic rate by about 50 to 70 calories daily, potentially burning an extra 18,000 to 25,000 calories annually without additional effort, which could translate to 5 to 7 pounds of fat loss yearly, even without changing diet or exercise habits. This increase in metabolic rate is significant because it represents a subtle but consistent enhancement in the body's ability to expend energy at rest, contributing to long-term weight management and overall metabolic health. Beyond its well-known role in muscle growth and strength gains, creatine also exerts powerful anti-inflammatory effects, particularly targeting visceral fat, which is an active endocrine organ intricately linked to metabolic diseases such as insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular complications. For instance, a rigorous study conducted at the University of Oklahoma demonstrated that 16 weeks of daily supplementation with 5 grams of creatine in adults suffering from metabolic syndrome resulted in a remarkable 37% reduction in inflammatory adipokines, signaling molecules that promote inflammation in fat tissue, and significantly improved insulin sensitivity. This biochemical improvement translated into tangible physical changes, with participants losing an average of 4 pounds of fat while simultaneously gaining 3 pounds of lean muscle mass, thereby enhancing overall body composition and markedly reducing risk factors associated with cardiovascular disease. In addition to its fat-modulating and anti-inflammatory properties, creatine enhances carbohydrate metabolism and blood sugar regulation. A controlled trial carried out by the University of Florida involving pre-diabetic adults found that after 12 weeks of creatine supplementation, insulin sensitivity improved by 23%, fasting blood glucose levels dropped by 8 points, and markers of diabetes These metabolic benefits are thought to arise from increased cellular energy availability and diminished oxidative stress, as evidenced in another study where 8 weeks of creatine supplementation reduced oxidative stress markers by 26% and enhanced mitochondrial function by 18%. Improved mitochondrial efficiency supports better energy production, which translates to enhanced exercise tolerance, quicker recovery from physical activity, and overall vitality. When combined with regular exercise, consistent daily dosing of 5 grams of creatine maximizes these health effects, with users typically noticing significant improvements in energy levels, body composition, and metabolic markers within just 2 to 3 weeks. Interestingly, creatine's positive impact extends beyond muscle and metabolic tissues to the brain, where it has been shown to enhance cognitive function and reduce neuroinflammation, suggesting potential benefits for mental health and neurodegenerative conditions. Overall, creatine's capacity to increase lean muscle mass, the metabolically active tissue responsible for much of the body's energy expenditure, plays a central role in elevating resting metabolic rate and promoting efficient energy utilization throughout the body. This comprehensive metabolic benefit is further supported by a meta-analysis encompassing 22 studies with over 400 participants, which reported an average gain of 2.2 pounds of lean mass following at least 8 weeks of daily 5-gram creatine supplementation, thereby confirming creatine's robust role in improving muscle mass and metabolic health across diverse populations and age groups. These findings underscore creatine's potential as a safe, effective, and accessible nutritional supplement for enhancing metabolic function, supporting weight management, and improving overall health outcomes in a wide range of individuals. Adding lean muscle mass increases your resting metabolic rate by about 50 to 70 calories per day, which adds up to burning an extra 18,000 to 25,000 calories annually without any extra effort. This metabolic increase could theoretically result in losing an additional 5 to 7 pounds of fat per year, even if you made no other changes to your diet or exercise routine. What's especially intriguing is creatine's anti-inflammatory effect on fat tissue itself. Fat, particularly the visceral fat surrounding your organs, isn't just a passive storage site. It acts as an endocrine organ that releases inflammatory compounds called adipokines when it becomes dysfunctional. A study conducted by the University of Oklahoma on 32 adults with metabolic syndrome who took 5 grams of creatine daily for 16 weeks found a 37% reduction in inflammatory adipokines and improved insulin sensitivity in fat cells. Participants lost an average of 4 pounds of body fat while gaining 3 pounds of lean muscle mass, resulting in a complete transformation of their body composition and metabolic health. Beyond fat tissue, creatine also enhances carbohydrate metabolism and blood sugar regulation. Research shows that creatine supplementation improves insulin sensitivity by boosting muscle cells' ability to absorb and store glucose. For example, a controlled trial at the University of Florida involving 46 adults with prediabetes gave half the group 5 grams of creatine daily and the other half a placebo while tracking glucose metabolism. After 12 weeks, the creatine group exhibited a 23% improvement in insulin sensitivity, as measured by glucose tolerance tests, an average drop of 8 points in fasting blood glucose, and a 31% reduction in inflammatory markers linked to diabetes risk. The metabolic benefits stem from increased cellular energy availability and reduced oxidative stress. Another study measuring various metabolic parameters in 28 healthy adults found that 8 weeks of 5 grams daily creatine supplementation decreased oxidative stress markers by 26% and enhanced mitochondrial function by 18%. Participants also reported feeling more energetic, experiencing better exercise tolerance, and recovering faster between workouts. To maximize these metabolic benefits, it's crucial to consistently take 5 grams of creatine daily. Combining creatine with regular physical activity, including resistance training and cardiovascular exercise, significantly amplifies its effects. For optimal results, take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate every day, whether or not you work out that day, and engage in varied exercise throughout the week. Most people notice metabolic improvements within 2 to 3 weeks. The beauty of creatine lies in its simplicity and safety. No complicated protocols, loading phases, or cycling schedules are needed. Decades of research involving thousands of participants confirm that a daily 5-gram dose is safe, effective, and delivers tangible benefits you can feel in your everyday life, such as improved mental clarity, increased physical energy, faster recovery, better mood, stronger muscles, and protection against age-related decline across various organ systems. The evidence is overwhelming. For instance, a 40% improvement in working memory, a 33% reduction in muscle inflammation, and a 28% decrease in cardiovascular inflammation. These are not minor changes, but significant improvements that translate into real-world benefits you can measure and feel. If you're still unsure, consider this. What other intervention offers such a wide range of benefits with this level of safety for such a minimal investment? Just 5 grams daily mixed into water. That's all. No complex timing strategies, no loading or cycling, simply consistent daily use. So, why wait? Start today. Get yourself some high-quality creatine monohydrate powder, measure out 5 grams, mix it into water, and drink it every single day. Within 2 to 4 weeks, you'll begin to notice noticeable changes. Taking 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily could be one of the most impactful health decisions you make this year. Among the 5 key benefits: enhanced brain function, increased muscle strength, heart protection, improved bone density, and a metabolism boost. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments which benefit excites you the most about trying creatine. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever used creatine before? What changes did you experience in your energy, focus, or strength? Or which of these benefits caught your attention the most? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. We love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.